Welcome, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. The joy of silence. We are so not silent today.
No, isn't that funny? We started already not being silent.
Well, and it's really interesting because I believe that one of the greatest gifts and challenges in life is contrast. So, yesterday I had a did not bend at the knees moment. So my back was like, I mean, I was flip flopping everywhere, couldn't find any pain meds. I had some topicals. I mean, I resorted to a glass of wine later, a little bit of Mary Jane. I mean, anything I could to take away the pain. And then I went to bed and really worked the Reiki and the Ho'oponopono. Oh no, I love you. I'm sorry, please forgive me and thank you. And it started off being very aggressive. Surprise. And then it went towards the softerness. When I woke up this morning and saw the full moon, oh my God.
Which is completely full in just about an hour.
Amazing, Kitty. Like, what is up with this full moon? Because I know the last full moon, I was prompted by our friend Daphne to write down stuff and put it in my God box, which is back in Edmonton. And I know exactly what I put in there. And it's really getting here and not with $1 million. Like we were talking about, the first thing that we heard when I went on TikTok was money can't make you happy. And we're both like, yeah, right.
So, this is what I've always said about that money doesn't make you happy, but a lack of it guarantees a certain level of struggle.
Absolutely. And okay, so I have been diving into this book.
Pretty amazing book, isn't it?
Oh my God, this book, Whole Brain Living. Holy smokes. Like, if we keep talking about it, we will get Jill Bolte Taylor on our show because we're living it.
Yes. I've been
And
using her brain huddle a lot recently.
uh,
This is an Aquarian full moon. So for you out there folks, this Aquarian full moon isn't just about the current group. It's going to be bringing up past issues
yep,
of group things that may have happened to you.
yep.
And because of this Leo and all of these outer planet themes that have been super busy since they came out of that Bareboats Bowl, it's funny you're telling me about your back too. I left here last week and did something to my back, and it's just now repairing.
And my friend yesterday, Melissa, she says to me, she's like, there's some deep soul. And I'm like, right off the bat, I'm immediately like, how about you bite me? Right? Like, left side, yeah, 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 yeah. And structure, foundation. My structure, my foundation right now, even though I'm doing everything that I want in my life, it is a mess. And I'm frustrated and I'm angry. And that whole Leo roar thing, oh my God, I feel like little Simba.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I feel like little Simba on the top of the mountain, and I'm just like, Gar.
Yeah.
Why did you fail me? I'm at the bottom of the canyon and no one's here to help me. And I'm like, help myself. What a stupid idea. And yet it's the thing that we do, right? So if you're here on TikTok, please follow Kitty. She lost 500 followers. I don't know where they went. What a bunch of assholes.
Well, I have no idea. Maybe they were accounts that they cleared out. I have no idea, but I was at 4,994. 6 away, and see at 5,000 something, there are additional things you can do in TikTok.
Yes, yes. I've been working really hard at getting my TikTok up there too. So please do share mine as well.
Yeah. And so today. I'm like, oh, look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Shocking.
Well, and with this, I'm going to go to my notes here because I did do a little bit of Aquarius themes: authenticity, freedom, community, letting go of old stories. Where are you being called to grow? So why silence matters is because silence creates Clarity. God often whispers. Joy is found in the stillness. What are you ready to release?
Well, if you didn't have a chance to see the movie that was free this
No.
past weekend, it is certainly worth it, though. Right now it's $24 American US, and I'm sure it will eventually be on Prime or Hulu or something. It
Yeah.
was an amazing movie. It's called Illusions. It was released July 1st, 2026.
Okay.
And she's a journalist, and it's of course a woman. I mean, I'm going to say it that way, guys. Don't mean to hurt you, but it was a woman who needed to figure out where this origin. She was a journalist, and she noticed the number 12 leading to 13 and how so many major patterns in the world are 12 or some derivative therefore. And
so that comes right back to the that shell circle thing. What am I talking about?
Fibonacci sequence.
Thank you.
And that's the human pattern, because that's what she wanted to know about, but the human pattern connected to the universe.
Okay.
So she starts with a series of scientists, physicists. She actually started with somebody who believes nothing. And the best quote is, the absence of proof is not the proof of absence.
Wow.
And she did, and what I found, and I'll send it to you, a YouTube conversation with her and another person on a podcast. And one of the things she said in this was that she didn't tell the people what she was going to talk about. She kind of just arranged to see them and kind of said to them, what is the number 12? Well, it's an amazing number in science to boot. And the beginning of it is quite intellectual, especially for somebody who's 50 years out of her physics class.
Who's 50 years out of physics, right? Like, take physics.
Maybe not quite 50. Well, yeah, 14, 15. And what I love that she did in it was, when it got super out there in the beginning with some of the people, she'd say time out, and she'd say lesson, and she'd go through some of their vocabulary so it would make complete sense. It was great. I did not find it insulting. I was like,
I enjoy that, because we sometimes hear talk about high level concepts. And when you break them down into their simplest, it's really quite remarkable. Like when you talk about the brain, is that right?
Yes.
Is that what that?
Right. Well, the acronym BRAIN stands for breathe.
Okay.
The R is, you are
Recognize
where it's coming from.
Right.
The A is accepting all of the viewpoints. It's just appreciating
whichever character you find yourself.
So for me, appreciation becomes acceptance.
Yes.
Accepting and appreciating. The I is what do you all need? Inquiry.
Yes.
All these different parts.
Inquiry is so powerful.
Yeah. And then the N is to navigate that. What am I going to do?
Well, and it's beautiful, because I think one of the greatest talents that I have as an author is celebrating other authors. So did I talk to you about this one, Beyond Brave?
Mm-mm.
Oh my God. This beautiful woman went through the most atrocious, she survived gang rape, abduction, the loss of her husband, it's full of juicy moments and then inspiration.
Okay.
Same with this other one I've talked about, Angel on My Sleeve.
Yep.
Right? And then of course, mine.
Yeah.
We as authors join a club, just like healers and people that have gone through addiction.
Well, yeah, and that's how we navigate it. Well, and this is a filmmaker. I have another friend who's a filmmaker, and she really enjoyed it. And of course, she also looks at it from a filmmaker's perspective.
Yeah.
But she goes on to look at, so it's interesting how brain kind of goes along with this. She looks at the basic building block of the geometry that really comes down to a dodecahedron, 12. And as she goes through the science in this movie, Illusions, because it's about what is reality, she gets taken to vibrational frequency. No
Mhm.
shock there. You who use scalar and our dear friend Daphne need to see this movie because
Oh,
she
scalar wave energy is off the hook. You know,
well, and she talks to
like,
people about scalar wave energy,
mm,
and she also looks at how the music. You who love music, you really need to see this movie.
well,
And
and that's it. Like these are they're like the piano keys of
well,
life.
there's a gentleman who is a physicist who's working with a brain person. And by the way, I learned something about brain tubules that I didn't even know from Jill Bolte Taylor that have 13 strands. So here's that 13. So what 12 is, it's the outskirts, and the 13th is the center. You, the Fool in tarot.
Wow.
The so and then she also worked. So what she did is she took the science and then she worked with. She went to some sacred sites around the world. There is I added it to my bucket list. It was in the Da Vinci Code, but the chapel that's in
Yeah.
Scotland is wild. What's in this chapel? Because when you do rice on a drum or
Yes.
sand and how they make certain patterns,
Yeah. The sound
those,
frequency.
those are up on the ends of these. It's the most
No.
amazing. It has 13 angels. It has 12 arches. And this
Wow.
is so and what I know that you've seen him on Mind Valley. Mateus, the gentleman who, for some reason, always remembered. He didn't lose the other lifetimes. And
Yes.
so he has and they found him very young, like 15, 16. He remembered. He was also in this movie, and he talks about that these sacred places built
Hmm.
along the ley lines, along that, were reflecting the tone of their paradigm. And they
Wow.
keep going back to the silence of what's between the music and even the musicians. It's about the resonance, the vibration that the tone takes. Now, years ago, I know you know this, they say the Earth's tone that it sings, like in space, the closest thing we represent here is Mongolian throat singing.
Yes.
And so when she meets with this master composer, he takes and he does a lot of technical stuff. He weaves all of this, and the whole bottom line, I'm like, oh, that's Mongolian throat singing, and the bottom of it. And it was a fascinating movie about our vibrational frequency, the reoccurrence of geometry. There was one gentleman in this movie, Illusion, that unfortunately was literally beat up by a gang, and he has a closed head injury, but he's become what's called a savant because of it. And he
Mm-hmm.
doesn't see the way we see. He sees everything in geometry. He hears everything in geometry. Fascinating.
Wow.
And
Wow.
talks about the discoherence, and that we have choices about our discoherence, and it's spending the time in the joy of silence that allows us to realign with the basically the
Yeah.
universal universe geometry. Was fascinating. It tied up so many things. It ties up brain work. It was just an amazing little movie.
Well, and I think that that's what's so important about the silence is we get ideas within the stillness and the silence.
Yes.
Then we take action. So we
Because
often
there are vibrations we cannot hear. So we
yeah,
allow them to mare with our body in the silence.
well,
Yeah.
and then we talk about goals, smart goals, specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. So it's simple.
Oh, I learned it is tangible. The T is tangible.
That
What is it going to look like?
I love that. I love that. And you know what? Begin with a pen and paper because there's something very, very kinesthetic about that feeling. If you want to go to your keyboard, go to your keyboard. I mean, I'm just saying that the actual physical pen was what you held a pen in your hand for a better part of your life, no matter what generation you're from.
Yep.
Write that shit down.
Yep.
And then share it with somebody because as soon as you say to somebody, hey, Kitty, I'm doing a retreat here in Edmonton on September 11th, 12th, and 13th. Tickets are going to be coming available on Eventbrite this week. It holds me in a space whereby that vibration has been spoken into reality. And
Yes.
if I am any woman of my word, which I am, it happens.
Well, it's fascinating because our discoherence is actually what we see, and the reason for the joy. That was one of the interesting things I learned is yes, all these temples are aligned, but they're only aligned from the paradigm at which they are sitting. So
Wow.
save that date. So, and the way Mateus explained it is think of it as there's red, there's blue, there's purple. The place in Scotland saw the purple, and that is the vibrational frequency they magnify, but it's in the silence that you access the other ones. Interesting. It
Wow.
it's a fascinating movie. It's a fascinating way to tie things together and to think that we are all that geometry. That's how we are connected. And our discoherence is what we create amongst us.
Well, and we can sit there and whine, bitch, and complain about the weather. It's raining cats and dogs in Edmonton. There's tornadoes, there's hail. It's a shit show.
Look at you. You're in the blue sky.
I am. And I recognize that I'm going back to such. And I love my home. I love being here in my son's home. I love that feeling of understanding that home is where I am. You know, when I come here, I get to wear my daughter in law's jacket. I love it. I feel her in the energy, right?
Yes, because it is a print that we keep. And, you know, one reason why archaeologists have a sacred mission is to uncover some of those energies that still remain in those discoherence because it's physical. That's part of the piece of it. And it's just a fascinating thought
It
process.
really truly is. And then once you get through, okay, you're identifying what in your life you want to let go of. You're identifying what you want to bring in. How then are you nurturing that?
Right.
What part of nature are you connecting with? You walking in the park? Are you gardening? Are you doing like fire? Like what is it that brings you back into the space between the breath? That
Right. The silence where the rest of the coherence comes to you.
yeah.
And since we talked about this last week or 2 weeks ago, that it's a new way we ground now. Yes, we ground in nature, but we ground through ourselves, in ourselves, versus the grounding comes from within versus what we used to think we go and ground because where we are. No, it's because we stop long enough for that connection and ground within ourselves.
Yeah.
That is the newest piece of that learning.
Well, I mean, like I said before, it's the things that you hold tangible, the physicalness of you and the pen, you and the water, you and the soap. Anybody out there who doesn't know, I make the most amazing soaps and I teach people how to use them. Smell. Drop into that moment. It's so fucking powerful, right?
Right. To be that present.
Yeah.
Is the present.
It really is. It really is, you know. I was talking with somebody yesterday on a pre-interview for a podcast and they were down in Florida. And I'm like, oh my God. And they were like, oh yeah, all the snowbirds that come and go. And I'm like, well, Kitty's not a snowbird. It's different. I'm like, it was amazing how quickly I got into that fight moment. And I'm like, why did I do that?
I am a snowbird. That's all right. I don't mind being a snowbird.
I'm a snowbird too. I fly away to Mexico.
Yeah. You know?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And if you're not a familiar with that term, it basically means somebody who escapes the winter and flies to someplace warmer.
Warm. Yeah, someplace warmer.
You know, and okay, some people say, "Oh, you know," and I was like that when I was younger. I love the cold. Not so much anymore, guys.
No. The only cold I like is ice in my drink.
And I don't mind the cold, but it does change how it sits in your body.
Yeah.
And it is, talk about wanting to be outside all the time. Now, this is the winter season of Florida because it's hotter than the hinges of hell down there.
What would the temperature be like in Florida?
The temperature never really tells the story. That's the interesting thing. Florida tends to stay in the 90s.
Okay.
It actually doesn't. Only recently in our evolution of weather has it really gone into the hundreds now, but the feels like it is an intense sun. You know, like when you go to Mexico, you know the sun's intense. Well, in the summertime, the intenseness, you can almost hear your skin going.
Oh my gosh.
It is, and it's very moist. So the
That always
breathing,
makes me laugh. You know, moist. That's, I think, cake.
yes. Well, you know, it's funny. Someone gave me a T-shirt, my friend Teresa, that says moist because people don't like that word. The T-shirt says that.
That's hilarious. That
You
is so
know,
funny. Yeah.
because
And you
some,
know what? They're words, right? Like I've got the DGAF on my wrist to remind me not to let things stick. The fugly feelings, again, back to what we were talking about earlier, 90 seconds in a feeling, no matter what it is,
yeah, just
feel
feel it,
90
and
seconds.
don't think about what it is. Not say, "Oh, I'm feeling hurt." No, no, it's literally, and I don't know where you feel, but most of my feelings sit right here at my heart.
Um, Chest, gut, I get a lot of gut, jaw, shoulders.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
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 But when I really stop just to feel it, it's like it transfers it to my chest, and I just feel it. And it is not easy sometimes not to have the brain go, "Oh, that's sadness."
Mm,
Don't call it anything. Just feel it.
just feel it.
So the
Yeah.
body can release it. Because
Yeah.
when you assign it a thought, it becomes that pattern in that second character.
Oh my gosh, so much. I've been watching a lot of recovery information lately. And I find it so interesting because there are the different styles of people in recovery. So if you're going to an NA meeting, someone that really got a good buzz off of injections, it's very different than an AA meeting. Sobriety is not simple,
No, no,
right?
and neither, uh, as a person who spent many years in Al Anon,
Yeah,
it's the same addiction without the substance. What the fuck? Like
I
it
know.
still is your way of thinking and pattern. And for those people out there, I have a very good friend. She's been my friend now for well over 40 years. She is, I think she's 50 years in recovery. She's a little older than me. Um, and she had an issue with one of her children.
Mm,
And I kept saying, and so did other people, why don't you go to Al Anon? And she's like, I know all of it. I've been going to AA for blah, 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 blah years. All right. She said,
mm.
boy, did I get my self in humility. She goes, it again, like you're saying, completely different program because
Very different.
you
Very,
real
very different. Yeah, I was a member of Co-Anon, so the cocaine anonymous aspect of it, because my addict was a cocaine addict.
yeah.
And yeah, I mean, codependency, man, did I read books on codependency?
Well, because it's the same thought pattern that gets you into addiction, only now it's somebody else's addiction. So you to unplug yourself from that person.
It snowballs, right? I
Yeah.
mean, I remember checking online for my people, you know, are they active? Okay, they're alive.
Yeah. Yeah.
I still
Right.
do. Well, actually, now I check to see if they're awake, because time zones, I'm like, oh, right, someone I can talk to.
Well, interesting. You know, I thought about this because my sister came to visit, and she has 360 on her phone, and it's very typical now for parents to know where their kids are all the time. Now, my son was horrified at that thought. You know, he's 32.
There are certain things that we're not meant to know, Kitty. I can still remember the first time I saw my one son in the shower.
Yeah.
Gross, right? Or when I picked up the smelly socks that I thought were just.
Yeah. Don't go any further. But, you know, and it's tempting now. Talk about a new level of that need to check up on somebody, you can actually check their physical phone.
Well, and I think that's why we've got such a who's watching, because there's that stockism, and then there is we're more connected to spirit. So yes, they're here, and yes, they're here. If you can see spirit, feel spirit, and you don't know what that is, it can lead to an anxiety. When I work with Bach remedies, aspen is what I help people understand the power of, because it's that unknown fear.
And it is, we fight for our sovereignness and then are at the same time frightened by it. And we are never completely sovereign. We know this really deep down. We know that there's character 4. My character 4 is Aurora. And
I named my first character. I like that she names it Helen. Mine's Helga. She's a tyrant.
It's in the book, guys, by the way, in Whole Brain Learning.
Yeah, Whole Brain. Mine is Helga. I identified her a long time ago because she is an incredible leader. She is such an amazing leader. And when she decides to do a project, there's nothing that's going to stop her. Not even common sense.
Yeah. You knew this years ago. I started calling part of me Kitty Lee.
Yes.
There's Kitty and Lee. Kitty Lee. Lee is really the second. She's always the little voice behind Kitty. And I didn't even know about the book then. I had already realized that things came to me from one side of I could literally feel them.
Isn't that interesting? Because with my mom, she had the AV malformation when I was 10 years old, very similar to what Jill Bolte Taylor went through, without the understanding of such. Like my mom explained when she was still able to, very well. And even now I'm able to have much more compassion. Like when my mom used to have haircuts, hair appointments weekly. The new facility that she's in doesn't have that much of an availability yet. And my mom used to fight for certain things, like she wanted her hair colored a certain way. And now working with the hairdresser, I'm like, kind of a strawberry blonde, I think. I know she doesn't like gray.
Yeah, it's so interesting. And it comes back to our topic today. We need the silence to figure all that out, to hear all those characters in our brain, to allow the amalgamation, there we go, of all of these frequencies in our sovereignness so we connect back out. And even like your mom, this is something one of her characters found to be important, and that's in there.
Absolutely.
When you appreciate all of the parts of you.
Absolutely. Because when we honor and cherish our relationship with ourself, we no longer seek outside of ourself for that relationship which is within us.
Right.
And it's not easy.
And we're coming back around visiting some of those patterns to ask the other parts of us, what do we need with this pattern? Because it's not helped us along the way. So
and that's where, back to astrology, I'm looking forward. My birthday is on October 9th. To my solar return, understanding what this next period of my life is. And part of such is vulnerability.
Well, let me tell you something about next year. So we just come out of this Bareboats Bowl, which was a big shakeup in alignment. Yep. Okay. And we're still working with those outer planets over these days. By chance, because I don't tend to look ahead, especially in this last year and a half. It's just the astrology has been so much what's in front of us. And I'm not a person that likes to predict what it means.
No,
there are other people who do that much better than I. I just read what the energy is. That's the story right now.
Well, reflection, not prediction.
Right. And next year's moons, I was helping a friend who's doing a calendar, are phenomenal. There are two Scorpio moons that are at 0 and 29 degrees in 1 month. There are 2 lunar eclipses in a month. That's unheard of. We have a full and total solar eclipse in August in Leo that in Luxor, Egypt will be the most visible. like probably the greatest, second greatest, if not the greatest one of the century so far.
Wow.
So next year's moon, and your moon is your personal energy. It is the gateway, the doorway of how we're all connected, all of those things. All of that is coming up next year. And we have another bowl, by the way. Exact same kind of degrees, except instead of it being Jupiter, it's going to be the divine feminine.
Wow.
So there is a lot of intuitive shift, evolutionary energy that started now, that it's been building, but now the watershed is kind of open. So,
Well, and I think what's really interesting is not just the availability of information about astrology, but the opportunity to learn your own astrology.
whatever tool, that was one of the things I walked away from illusions. I have to use astrology. You resonate with it.
Yeah.
But there are tarot is in that same 12. There's a lot of things in archetypes. Whatever you resonate with, there's not a right or wrong.
No,
it's in your makeup.
no.
Yeah.
It's like choosing food. You know, I like corn. I ate it yesterday.
Yeah. Corn is not one that my body particularly agrees with.
Bingo. Right there. Right? Like that just shows it. Oh my gosh, friend, we did it again. 30 minutes in a hot minute.
In a hot minute. So got lots of stuff coming up, folks. Stay tuned. Yeah. Thank you for the, and please put up your thing for September again.
Oh, that is September 11th to 13th. The retreat.
Edmonton, right?
Just outside of Edmonton and Sturgeon. And the beauty of it is not just in the event, it's the opportunity. And I'm talking from a wholly beautiful like circumference, because I love horses. I've been riding horses since I was a wee little lad. And I now have 2 cowboy hats, and I will be using them to understand the horses even more, not just this year, but in my entire future. So much so that on my birthday, I'm getting cowboy boots, because I will be working with the herd, understanding the shamanic principles, all of that. Like, holy
very
shit.
Cool.
I mean, I love the smell of cow shit and horse shit in the morning. Not everybody's like that.
Really? Yeah. I would not be that person.
I remember when I was a little girl and my Uncle Hugo was butchering a cow, and it was my job to hold on to the intestinal. And then I slipped because I was little. I was like 10. And he cut the sack, and then the poop went all over the meat.
Oh.
And it was a problem.
It's a problem. Yeah.
We learn what we learn, right? Yeah.
So we've been, thank you again for the plug. I have no idea where those 500 people went. So.
Jack.
Yeah.
Jack.
So, thank you.
You're welcome.
So we'll see. Anyway, namaste, my friend.
Love you to the moon and back.
All right. Take care.